new year, and it's so exciting time of the year. We all make, all these New Year's resolutions. We are trying to get rid of our fat. We're trying to get into an exercise routine, all those things. And it's just unbelievable that we do this every year. I've been making, pardon?
It's not working.
Say I just shared it, but that was it.
Okay. You're good.
Well,
You're good.
we're on live stream.
All
We're
right.
streaming there. So
Awesome.
anyways, we all go on these crazy diets at the beginning of the new year. We get into exercise, we go to the gym, and you know what happens? We fall off very quickly. So we want to do this live because we've all been there. We've done this so many times, and it's finally something that has come into my life that has totally reversed that. And it's been kind of like a miracle. It's been a godsend for me. I've been dieting my entire life. I'm 65 and I've probably spent thousands of dollars on different diets and shakes and stuff and everything. And it's not that they didn't work. It's just that I went back to the normal self I was before all the time. And it's just a real struggle. And I realize it's not our fault. It's our food environment. It's everything that's surrounding us. And I'm so fortunate. A few years ago, a very good friend of mine told me about insulin resistance. I've been in the wellness space now for over 25 years, teaching people how to exercise, how to eat right. And it's not that it didn't work, it worked for them, but it was not sustainable. Diets to me have always meant deprivation. I always had to, mentally prepare myself and all those things to go on a diet. Well, I'm so thankful. I had gone through a very difficult time in my life. My mom was struggling with cancer. I was also going through a divorce, and none of those things are nice. And I lost myself. I put on weight that I'd never had before, very frustrated. In that process, I took up, alcohol drinking as well. And I was a train wreck. And thank goodness, a friend of mine reached out and told me about insulin resistance. And I said, "What's that?" Because I had no clue, which most of us don't. I always thought anything to do with insulin was about diabetes, right? Well, we're going to educate you on this today because most of us have symptoms of insulin resistance. And so I'm going to share my screen here for a minute. And first of all, show you a little bit about what I looked like before I got started with what we're going to teach you today. And then you're going to hear from these two amazing people right here on this Zoom with us today, Vicky and Jason. They have incredible stories. So hang tight, wait to hear what's happened to them. What a transformation. But this was me. You can see in the picture on the right, I had just blown up. I was not happy with myself. I don't know what men do, but we as women, I was living in Michigan at the time, we can put shapewear on and squeeze ourselves and hide in our clothes all winter. But you know what? Come the heat in the summer and the spring, guess what? We can't hide anymore. And I was so frustrated because you go shopping and you can't fit into any clothes. And then you get more depressed and you come home, it's a vicious circle. Then you eat more because now you're emotionally eating and whatever else you're doing. So that was me, not happy. And you can see I'm a runner. I've done 10 marathons, and you can see in this picture here, this is in Niagara Falls. I was doing a marathon, and look at me. I'm poofy everywhere. My legs, my stomach, my face. This was not me. And you think someone that is that active wouldn't have a problem? It's because I was insulin resistant, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But this was me in 90 days, getting on what we're going to teach you today by reducing meal frequency and adding some more fiber to our lifestyle. I was able to lose 25 pounds, go down 4 dress sizes and inches in 90 days. I lost body fat, and it looks like a lot more, but that's what it ended up being. And it's totally changed my life. So let me show you what insulin resistance is, because like most of us, I did not know. So let me go here. Whoops, I'm in the wrong place. There we go. Technology, it's not my biggest thing. Anyway, so insulin resistance, let's get to this here. If you look at all these signs of insulin resistance, I was shocked. I was blown away. I mean, most of our diseases nowadays are related to insulin resistance, from, type 2 diabetes to PCOS, as you can see, cancer, um, obesity problems, that belly fat, uh, neuropathy, erectile dysfunction. Women, we get PCOS. You wonder why so many women are having trouble, with their childbearing years. It's because of insulin resistance. It affects everything. And on the right here, you can see all these other things. Usually, insulin resistance first shows up on our skin. It could be psoriasis, it could be the darkening skin patches, it could be skin tags. I mean, now that I know what insulin resistance is, I walk around and I can see how many people are insulin resistant, right? Have you
Yep.
guys noticed that?
Uh-huh.
It's like an awakening, right? And you go, whoa, you
Yeah,
know,
it sure is. Kind of like when you see somebody driving a vehicle and all of a sudden you see all kinds of them if it's something that you like. So,
exactly. I mean, I remember my husband and I, we were at the airport and I was looking around and I see people with skin tags and I almost feel like I want to run up to them and say, I can help you with that because most of the time, what do the people do? They get them cut off, right? That doesn't solve anything. All it does is temporarily get rid of it, but they'll come back. So you can see all this fatty liver. I mean, and if remind me, I've got a picture of a little boy, 9 years old, that already had fatty liver disease, not from drinking, obviously. So we can reverse all that brain fog, achy joints, you just name it. So these are some of the symptoms of insulin resistance. And why does this happen? This was a wake up call for me. Being that I help people, teach them how to eat right and so forth, I um, used to tell people they should eat 3 meals a day to keep their metabolism up. Snack during the day. Boy, was that the wrong advice because every time we eat something, we spike our blood sugar, we increase our insulin. And when insulin is high, our body can't burn body fat. And we have stored energy on our body that we need to use up. If we're eating all the time, and eating or drinking high fructose things, we're constantly elevating our blood sugar and it doesn't take long. It could be maybe 5 years or more. And all of a sudden we end up going to the doctor and the doctor tells us we're type 2 diabetic. It didn't happen overnight. It happened because we get up in the morning, we eat breakfast, then we have a snack, then we have lunch, then we have another snack, and then dinner. And then, we snack all night long again and constantly elevated blood sugar. And like I said, it's not our fault. A lot of this has to do with our food environment. I mean, if you look at this picture of this apple and the juice, how many apples can you eat before you're full? One, two, three, maybe three apples. But how many apples do you think it takes to make a glass of apple juice? Probably 8 or 9 apples. And there's no fiber. The fiber's been removed. We're drinking pure sugar. I used to be guilty of this. I used to send my kids to school drinking orange juice and apple juice in the morning. Little did I know I was, jacking them up already with sugar before they even went to school. And then they have it at lunch at school again, right? Look at the rice picture too. All the fiber's been removed. And this is, delicious tasting things, but the food environment and, big pharma are not on our side. The more we eat snacks, I mean, you go to the grocery store, you can see what's happening at the grocery store. You're at checkout and it's all junk food. We're being bombarded with snacking all the time and it's very addicting. So that's kind of the dilemma. And we're going to share with you in a moment what actually you can do to change this by putting back fiber in your life and by reducing meal frequency. But just before we do that, I want to bring on Vicky. She's amazing. We've known each other now for, well, not that long, maybe 6 months, maybe 7 months. I'm not sure, not that long.
since
Oh,
since April.
okay. She's had an incredible transformation and what a story. Go ahead and why don't you share with everybody what's happened with you since you learned about insulin resistance and the protocol we're going to be talking about in a minute and share that with us. And if you don't mind, if I can bring up a picture of you, if you don't mind.
Sure, of course, no problem
Okay.
whatsoever.
I'll do that
Thanks.
while you're talking.
Okay. Thank you, Monica, so much for having me on today. And it's just been a pleasure to now have you as a friend and partner. And it's just been amazing. This ride is just so exciting because what I didn't know was I was on a yo-yo dieting thing constantly, probably since I was in high school. And it just kept getting, it was up and down. I'd lose, I'd gain, I'd lose, I'd gain, and thinking, oh, wow, this is, what's going on? Never, ever, ever had I heard about insulin resistance. Well, had been struggling. I lost my mom in 21. In September of 21, I lost her 90 some years old and of age. And unbeknownst to me, I would lose my husband 10 months later to a motorcycle accident. It was horrible. One of the worst things that's ever happened. Yes, I expected mom to go, but not my own husband, I
No.
dearly loved for 20 plus years. So it was heart-wrenching. And I had everybody said, oh, you'll lose weight now that this happened. I said, oh, no, not me. Well, I didn't. I gained weight. I gained weight. Yes, I did. And I was already overweight at the time in my eyes. But I never knew what to do about it. I was just so down. Yep, that was me. In the blue dress, that was me in May after my husband passed. So almost 10 months later, I had just really let myself go. And I was in Hawaii with my cousins. I didn't want to go. I didn't feel good about me. And finally, in April of this year, I saw a friend of mine, or should just say an acquaintance that I had been in another company with, share something on her social media that she'd lost weight. And I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's losing weight? Really? Well, I reached out to her. She said, well, it's about insulin resistance. And I too said, what's that? I had no clue what insulin resistance was. I didn't have any clue what it was tied to. I was always one that when I took my mom and my dad and my husband to the doctor or myself, which was rare that I went, but still I wanted to get to the root cause of what was going on and, with what was going on with them. And I'd always get, I don't know, is what the doctor would say. They would never have an answer for what the root cause was. Well, when I found out about insulin resistance from Carolyn, my now dear friend and partner, uh, it just blew me away. And so when she explained it to me, got Monica on the phone with me, and she helped me understand it better, I said, you know what? This is a no-brainer. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to try it. So I started on the protocol on April 24th of this year, and I
Look at you
kept,
now.
that's me now. That was in November.
Oh,
On a cruise in the Bahamas that I earned with this company, which was just fabulous to be with like-minded people that were all on the same mission that I am. And so I feel so much better. I have energy now that I didn't have before. I did a A1C study for the company in my first 90 days. I totally reversed my prediabetes from 5.8 to 5.3 in 90 days. I went and had my lab work done, took it to my physician, and she said, Vicky, what are you doing? And I just kind of smiled, handed her my labs, and I said, just something new that I decided I would try. She looked at my labs and she said, Vicky, this is the best you've ever looked, and this is the best your labs have ever looked. I did not exercise while I was on the 90-day protocol or 90 days of the protocol. I'm still on it, of course, but I didn't exercise because I personally wanted to see if it really worked without exercise, which it did. And when I
good.
went to see her, I was down 16 pounds and 9.25 inches. And this is not a weight loss protocol. That weight loss is just a positive side effect. Well, positive side effect for something like this, that was huge for me. And the story just continues. And I kept reaching out to Monica and Carolyn and say, is this supposed to be happening? I'm losing a bit of weight. I'm losing, my clothes are looser. They were just kind of nonstop. I was kind of probably bugging Monica more than what she wanted because
No,
some
never.
new friend that I just met, and I had to share everything what I was doing with her. Didn't have to, but I chose to, because she was so supportive, and it was just a great thing. So I finally, because they wanted me to share my story one earlier on before I had my 90 days in, and I wouldn't do it. I was just said, no, I need my labs done, and I need to have my full 90 days. Well, once I finally shared my story with Monica, put it together for me, and she posted it on social media, and everybody said, Vicky, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the rest is history. My life has changed. I've got a sparkle that even my doctors are telling me that you've never had in your eyes before. I have more energy. Inflammation is gone. My eye doctor told me I didn't have the dry eyes that I used to have before. And it's just completely changed my life. And it is the best thing that I have done for me because after losing both of, those loved ones so early, plus I had other ones that I lost in the same, within a year, a little over a year of each other, about 5 people. Besides, I decided it was time for Vicky. It's time for me, and it's time for me to start feeling better and helping other people. And that's my mission now, is to help other people feel better and feel good about themselves because we have an answer.
Well, and you brought a really, by the way, thank you for sharing that. It's very touching. And you hit on a big thing. This is not a diet. You
No.
didn't have to exercise. It's basically adding some things that our body needs. Our bodies are miracles by themselves. They can
Mhm.
heal us in so many ways, but it needs the tools. And we're going to share two tools here in a minute that have changed our lives. And now, my goodness, it's over 1 million people in the last 3.5 years that have
Wow.
clinical proof of their health improving. It's remarkable. Can you imagine? It's so amazing. But you said you're on a mission,
Mhm.
and your mission took you to share with your son. So why don't you guys talk about what happened there? I'm
Sure,
curious
I'd be
how.
happy to. So I'm going to introduce to you my oldest son, Jason. And Jason, I never really said to him too much, but he was pretty large and he had this big, big hard belly, and which you'll be seeing pictures of here soon. But
Can I
anyhow,
share? Can I
yes.
share? Okay.
And he said he's seen my transformation. He asked me what I was doing, and I told him. And so, Jason, go ahead and share your story because this is just so exciting to have have a family member on board with you to truly, I love all my family and whatever. But the thing is, when they ask you, Mom, what are you doing? That means a lot.
Mhm.
And so anyhow, so he's got an amazing story. He started on the protocol in August, and Jason, take it away. I'm so proud of you.
Me too.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Monica, for inviting me here today. It's
Monica,
been
can
a
you put his
positive.
picture up on the screen?
It's up there.
No, it's
No,
not.
you got something else up there.
What?
You've got some pyramids or something on there.
I know I was big, but not quite that big.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I love
Is
it.
that is
That's the
that
one
better?
joy of
Is
this. We
that
can have
better?
fun. That's better. That looks more like Jason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Imagine
Jason.
just wanting to take a pin and pop that thing or what? No,
Yep.
I knew I was big, but I didn't realize how big I was. I just lived life and worked some more. And then I'd seen pictures of my mother and asked her, what she was doing. She sent me the information on what she was doing. And when I checked off over a third of the boxes on that, knew right then and there that I had to do something. From sleep apnea to skin tags to, a hard belly. But my hard belly, I always had a hard belly. I've always done a lot of sit-ups in my life, but it went further than that. And so I took a chance and I'm very happy I did because I feel 1,000 times better. Um, to drop 40 pounds in 90 days is absolutely incredible.
That
But
is.
that's not the reason why I started this. It was just because I wanted to feel better, like being pre-diabetic and, reading stories and reports of the that being switched around and almost to make it almost sound like you get a fresh start in life.
Mhm.
And I can't be any happier with how things have turned out.
Well, you look fantastic. And you know, I look at that one picture there and you can see the visceral fat that is so dangerous because it surrounds our organs and it's a hard belly. It's not a jiggly one. And it
No,
surrounds our organs and it basically chokes our organs. I mean, and look at you now. I mean, I am just, it's amazing. Did you go and do excessive exercise with this?
no, I worked. But yes, it was the busiest time of my season at work.
Mhm.
But still, I didn't do any extra exercises.
Okay,
Um,
excellent.
when I just last week, I went to the chiropractor and he literally said, Jason, what have you done? You've lost weight. And the last time I'd seen him was in November. So from November till, you know, the end of December, he had seen quite a transformation alone in just that short period of time.
Oh,
So,
visibly, you're a walking billboard. Your blood work and everything, though. I mean, once you get that back to see what's happened inside.
well, and I honestly, I'm very curious about that too. I just have a very bad habit of avoiding doctors.
Most of us do.
But
So,
that's where I say pictures speak 1,000 words, because thank goodness at least he had pictures.
Mhm.
Because I
yes,
always tell people, make sure you take pictures, you measure, you weigh, so you have something to compare with. We don't like to take pictures of ourselves, especially when we're
that like
obese,
that. Yeah,
let
no.
alone even, some of us don't even like pictures when we're not that way. So
Yeah,
they speak 1,000 words because those pictures tell a big story too.
yeah.
Like one of my biggest things too is we had taken measurements probably 3 weeks after I started, but do you think we can find the measurements anywhere? Like, so yeah, but that being said, to be down, a size in clothing is huge.
Well,
It
and in
really is.
shirts, he's down 2 sizes because as you can see in that one picture of him, he put that shirt on. He was here visiting for Christmas, and I said, I don't think that shirt's going to work anymore. Wrong picture, Monica.
I know. I'm going to find it.
Okay. And so,
Looking at that
and so
shirt. Is
anyway,
that it?
he put that shirt on, and I said, I don't think so. And he said, yeah, I just got that a year ago, and it was like a 2XL, and now he's into an extra large. So that's going down 2 sizes. That's pretty huge.
Well, I'm telling you, with just the changes that you've made, um, your life is going to be much longer. All of us are, because this is when your body is in the right place and getting the right things it needs. It's a miracle. It's like we said, this is not a diet. If you have weight to lose, you'll lose it. It's all the other things that are happening inside. And everybody's probably watching now going, what are you guys doing? Like, what caused this? We didn't diet. We're not counting calories. We've just introduced two things in our lives. One is reduced meal frequency, intermittent fasting. And a lot of people say to me, well, I've intermittent fasted before, but I got headaches. I didn't feel good. I understand that. We have two tools here that will help you. So one tool we're going to talk about in a moment is the Unimate. It comes from South America. It's an incredible plant. And what this company did is they actually took the best components out of this plant and purified it and made it so that when we sip on this, I'm sipping on it right now, actually in the morning when you wake up, instead of eating breakfast, remember we're talking about reducing meal frequency. Instead of breakfast, we have this here. It's the cereal companies that brainwashed us all thinking that we have to get up first thing in the morning and have a bowl of cornflakes or cereal with sugar and fruit in it. That is not how probably our parents and our grandparents ate it all. They probably got up in the morning and did chores first and then came in and had something to eat. I can know that because I know that's what it was like at my house growing up. So this has all been something that's been put into our minds. Again, the food industry, because it's all about money, the cereal companies. So what we do is we do not have breakfast. Instead of breakfast, we skip it and we have this here. And breakfast means breaking fast. It does not, you're not going to starve. We have enough stored energy on our love handles in our body that we're not going to die from not eating, not having breakfast. So instead, we have this here, we sip on it. This gets rid of cravings. It makes it so that you can burn more fat for fuel. And it basically helps increase ketones. And we have something in our gut called GLP-1. There's all these drugs out there right now, like metformin, Ozempic, and everything that are synthetic GLP-1s that people are taking because they're desperate because nothing's working. Well, this here, sipping on this will increase your natural producing GLP-1 that already happens in our gut by over 70%. Oh, actually 67%. So let me share my screen and talk about this for a minute. And you guys, if you want to input anything while we're talking about this is phenomenal. I mean, when I go out and if I work out in the morning, like this morning I went running, or if I go to the pool, go swimming, this is sitting at the end of the pool, or this is what I sip on. I have tons of energy. I'm not exhausted. It helps me perform better athletically when I do. It helps my brain. I feel happier when I'm on this, and it produces your body's production of ketones and of course the GLP-1 as you can see here. But what are some things that you guys have noticed because you're both using it?
I found more energy, like you were talking about. There was times before I started on this protocol, I'd lay down in the afternoon and take a nap. I was tired. I just didn't have the energy in me, and I just didn't have the enthusiasm. And I can see that that has helped me with that a lot. And I don't have the food cravings that I had before either.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I forgot about the cravings.
Yes. How about you, Jason? What have you noticed?
I don't have the cravings really. Like, if anything, the only reason why let's say my biggest vice is sunflower seeds. If I'm driving, I gotta snack on sunflower seeds just to keep myself doing something. But I've got so much more energy. It's actually kind of scary. Like, some 50-year-old guy is running up and down the alleys and just there he feels like he's 25 again.
And now when you're talking about running up and down alleys, we're not talking street alleys. We're talking at a feedlot or something like that. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
I just wanted to clarify that. I hope you weren't running the
Yeah,
street
no,
alley.
I'm running down the back alleys. Yes. No, no, I work at a stockyards and I'm working and sorting cattle and stuff pretty well almost every day, if not fixing. So, but for me just to get around and climb fences and flip over fences and just it's stuff that I haven't been able to do for probably close to be over 15 years, if not closer to 20.
It's
That in
amazing.
itself is incredible. You're doing parkour now.
So it's this like this product and it's been amazing for how it's transformed me. And I like to see, all the results and the reports of everybody else that it's helped so much. And I would just like to be able to keep passing it on because I think everybody needs to be on this.
I totally agree because we all have signs of insulin resistance. Actually, 93% of the US population is insulin resistant and they don't know it. You mentioned the snacking part. I keep these in my desk to remind myself. And when I do a live like this to show people, and maybe someone can relate with this. I used to run into the grocery store to pick something up that you need for dinner or whatever. And you know how they have all the junk food right when you're checking out? Well, I never left the store without a snack. And I'd be in my car driving home, and that snack would be gone before I even got home. So I'm just saying this has eliminated me. I mean, I still like my potato chips and I still like Cheetos, not that I don't have them, but I have them at the right time of the day and I don't crave them constantly. So it's been a relief for that.
And the
So
beauty about this, you still have them, but we have a product then that's going to help even with that. When you go to eat some of that food that's not good for us, we have a fiber that kind of helps coat our food so it makes it even a better thing for us.
Yeah, we're gonna go there in just a second. I wanted to say one more thing. So we sip on this in the morning instead of breakfast. At lunchtime, break your fast, eat food. Just as we get older, I always recommend people, eat good protein, good fats. If you're gonna have, carbs, have it after you've eaten your good fats and fiber and protein. But you can drink this hot or cold. Like right now, it's winter in most places, so I like mine hot in the morning. I put it in a big mug and I just sip on it in the morning. And then I have my afternoon one and I like it cold. So they come in different flavors. They're amazing. So you'll like that. So let's go to the fiber, the one that Vicky was just talking about. This is actually really incredible. The fiber is not something you're going to sip on because it gets really thick. This has 7 fibers in it. It's not like a Metamucil or a Benefiber. That basically helps you stay regular to go poop. Okay. This here has 7 fibers in it. It's been studied by the University of Sydney. Glycemic index research, they invented it in the world. And it shows that by taking this before you eat your biggest meal, you can block up to over 30% of the carbs that you're taking in. So you won't have a blood sugar spike. It prevents that. The other place that has studied it is also the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Clinic says such a product, if taken regularly, can reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and or dose of lipid lowering prescription drugs. Think about this for a minute. How many people are being put on statins constantly? Okay. This fiber, if you guys remember the Rexall drugs, if you're old enough, this fiber has been on the market for 30 years. It's in both these products are in the physician's desk reference. It's not something new, except when they put these two together, the fiber and the Unimate, these incredible things have happened over the last 3 years. But this helps curb the appetite, like Vicky was saying, so you're not as hungry. All you do is mix this with half a bottle of water here, 4 to 6 ounces, take it up and chug it like a beer just before you eat your biggest meal. And that's how simple it is. So you sip on your Unimate and then take your fiber just before your biggest meal. It helps keep you fuller longer. It gives you the fibers that you need. There's 7 fibers in there. Anything you guys want to add that you've noticed by taking this before you eat?
I don't have the guilt if I do eat something that maybe that it wouldn't be good for me per se. Over
Mhm.
the holidays, there was the goodies in the house, and
Oh,
I made
cookies.
sure I had a balance before because then I
Mhm.
felt I was eating it guilt-free.
Right.
Uh, I mean, yes, is it a healthy thing to eat? No, but I knew if I had my fiber first, I wouldn't feel as bad for my body because I knew it was coating that food so it wouldn't go and spike my insulins.
Yeah, it gets really thick in your stomach. So it coats your
Mhm.
stomach, your food, your intestines, everything. So first of all, well, I noticed too, I can't eat as much. If I take this before I eat, I'm not eating as much. My husband and I, we go out for dinner and we're usually splitting a meal where we used to have our own meals.
Mhm.
And we take the rest home if we ordered two, right?
Oh, even my meals have dropped way back in amounts too, but I don't have the guilty feeling, but I tell you what, I do notice that if I do eat something and I do not have a balance, just you don't feel quite as good. I
Mhm.
guess like you can really notice that the balance is doing what it's supposed to do
Yeah, you're
because
not
it's
having that crash, right?
Right?
no.
I used to think it was because my stomach was digesting food. I always blamed it on that I wanted to go lay on the couch and pass out or watch TV. It was because of the blood sugars. Whatever goes up must come down. So when you crash, that's when that happens. Great input. Thank you guys. So this is how the protocol works. Really easy. 2 products, the Unimate and the Balance. And all you do is when you wake up in the morning, instead of breakfast, you drink the Unimate. It helps you increase your fat burning ability. Then if you have lunch, if you're going to have a big lunch, take a balance before you eat your lunch. If not, You don't have to do anything, just eat lunch. After lunch, make another unimate, sip on it. You're going to feel energized all afternoon. And then just before dinner, have the fiber and then chug it and then eat your meal. And then just pick a time. Like if you are finished dinner at 6 or 7, keep your eating window then 7 and make yourself a rule that after 7 or 8 o'clock, no more food. Because then you allow your body to fast and get into something called autophagy, where your body is actually healing all its cells. And if you can go from 8 o'clock at night all the way till 11 o'clock the next day, you're allowing your body to burn its own fat for fuel. We have enough stored energy instead of from the food we're eating, and your cells can actually repair themselves. It's quite amazing. Very simple protocol.
And what
So
I
here's
like
just
about this protocol too, it's not just for people who are heavier, it's people who I have people who are on it who don't need to lose weight, they need to gain weight, but yet they're still having health issues related to insulin resistance. And this protocol has helped them as well.
exactly. It's like you said before, it's not about weight loss. This helps get your metabolic health in order. People that are skinny that look healthy on the outside can be metabolically unhealthy and be insulin resistant. Just your body size does not specify that. And heart
Exactly.
disease, cardiovascular disease comes from insulin resistance too. So we really need to protect ourselves. Here's just a couple other people here that have had incredible results on this protocol. Like I said, we've helped over 1 million people now on this protocol in the last just over 3 years. And it's available now in 63 countries around the world, thank goodness. And it's become a mission for us, just like Vicky said. And Jason even said it. How can something that works as well when everybody's out there struggling, especially right now? I know everybody's made these New Year's resolutions. We know they're going to struggle through them. Why are so many people on medications, on shots? Because they're desperate. And those all have really bad side effects. I mean, if you go to the physician's desk reference and look up Ozempic, there's probably 70 pages of side effects that you can read. If you go to the physician's desk reference and look up the Unicity Unimate or the Unicity Balance, there is no side effects, except maybe on the balance, because you're not used to all that fiber. You might have a little bit of gas and bloating until you get used to it. Other than that, there is nothing, and it does everything it says because of the clinical studies that have been validating it. So anything you guys want to add here before we close it off? Well, one more thing I wanted to say. If you know Jason or if you know Vicky or me or whatever, reach out to us because we feel so honored. We get a discount from the company that we can pass on to you. We can give you the link so that you get the same discount. It's like over $60 discount on this protocol. And what does it work out to? Like $5 a day?
And like six, and then about six in Canada. So
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
right. And not only that, there's free shipping and there's a 90-day money back guarantee when you're on a subscription as well as using our app. So it's well worth it.
Oh my good. Yeah.
How
The
impo-
subscription
how
itself.
how important is one's health? Somebody says, well, I can't afford it. Well, can you afford a coffee every day or a tea or a pack of cigarettes? Like Jason, he used to chew tobacco and he stopped chewing tobacco because he made a change so he could afford to do this to make his body and his life better.
That's all. A good point. Remember I was talking about going in the store, and every time I went in the store, I grabbed a snack. If
Uh-huh.
I added up my snacking in the course of a month, oh my
Yep.
goodness. And well, here's the other thing. I forgot to mention this. I got off my thyroid medication in 90 days. The other thing I was spending money on was hormone replacement pellets. They cost me 350 every 90 days because insurance didn't cover it.
Wow.
I'm off that. So the money, I just the money my husband and I done save on we're both on the protocol. Um, is remarkable because we still snack, but not like we used to. He used to have a bowl when we were dating. There used to be a bowl in the kitchen. He made this great mixture of nuts and Chex Mix and all that stuff. What do you do every time you walk past it?
Okay, grab a
Handful.
handful.
Yep.
The truth.
Uh-huh.
So it's $5 a day. In Canada, 6. I'm telling you right now, we went to the airport when we flew to Vegas, and I went to get 2 coffees and it was $16. I'm sorry. $5 a day is nothing on your health. This is something that'll save you money. You're gonna feel fantastic and you're gonna get your metabolic health back in order. And like you said, Vicky, it comes with a 90-day money back guarantee.
Yeah, you can't beat it. You're not going to get that on any drug.
We didn't get to where we are in 90 days, so
No,
it's
we
a good
didn't.
deal.
Yep. Well, thank
Anything
you,
else, you
Monica,
guys?
for, no, I
You're
think this is
welcome.
great. And thank you, Jason. This was just
Nope.
awesome.
Thank you,
Yeah,
both of you.
Jason. Oh, makes my heart just melt hearing your story.
Makes mom feel really good that he's healthier than what he used to be. It was pretty
Well, thank
scary to
goodness
see
for
him where
that.
he was.
Like I said, you could have just taken a pin and just popped me, and I would probably felt better.
But it wouldn't pop because it was too hard.
Good one.
Well, good point.
So,
Well, you guys are awesome. I thank you for sharing, and we'll have to have you on again, Jason, because your story, you can save a lot of people's lives and turn it around into something much better for them without having to go through all those struggles. So thank you. Means
Nope.
a
Thank
lot.
you, Monica. Thank you, Mom.
thank you. Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to